Hi guys, this is Mrs. Hill. This is our last lesson on our book From Tadpole to Frog. What I'm going to do today is read the story from cover to cover. Then I will put an assignment in your Google Classroom for you to take an AR test over this book, and you can start accumulating those AR points. So that's where we're going to get started. We're going to go cover to cover, and if you will follow along and look at the pictures, that would be great. From Tadpole to Frog. In the spring, you may see frog eggs in still water of a pond. Each egg is a ball of clear jelly with a small dark center. Hundreds of eggs stick together in a clump called frog spawn. Inside the eggs, tiny tadpoles are growing. At first, they look like small, dark specks. In a few days, little heads and tails take shape. Soon, the tadpoles are big enough to wiggle out of their eggs. After feeding on the jelly of their eggs for a while, the tadpoles wave their tails and swim away. Gills on the outside of a tadpole's body help it breathe underwater. I know several of you said you like the picture of the gills. I think it's neat too. The tadpole's main job is to eat and grow. Many of the tadpoles will be eaten by hungry bugs, fish, or turtles. But a few escape. They will grow to be frogs. Tadpoles do not look much like the frogs they will become. A tadpole has a strong tail for swimming. The tadpole has a hard mouth. It uses its mouth to scrape soft plants from the rocks and pebbles in the pond. After a few weeks, the tadpole has grown 2 hind legs. And the tadpole's gills have moved inside its body. Lungs are beginning to form inside the tadpole's body too. Now and then, it swims up. The tadpole puts its head out of the water. It takes little breaths of air. As the tadpole's lungs grow stronger, its gills shrink away. 2 front legs begin to grow where its gills once were. By the time it is about 2 months old, the tadpole's mouth has become wider. The tadpole starts to eat small bugs. For a few more weeks, the tadpole's tail shrinks and shrinks. Now the tadpole's strong legs and its webbed feet help it swim. The tadpole has changed into a small frog. Soon the little frog will leave the pond. The frog spends much of its time out of the water, but it likes to stay wet, so it does not go far. The little frog catches bugs and worms. It swallows them in its wide mouth. The frog eats and grows. It gets a little bigger every day. After about 2 or 3 years, the frog is fully grown. Every spring, there will be new frog eggs in the pond. So that was our book From Tadpole to Frog. Before you go to your AR test, go to your skill sheet document, and what I would like for you to do is make sure your first page is all the way completed, that you have answers on each of the blanks, and I would like you to read that paragraph that we've created by filling in the blanks. I would like you to read that to an adult that is home with you. So read out loud the paragraph that we created. If you tried to draw a picture down here, great. If not, that's fine too. I didn't do very well with that, so I'm not going to count it against you in any way if you didn't get this done. At the very top of your screen on your skill packet document, you will see a back arrow and a forward arrow. If you'll hit the forward arrow, that is where your second skill sheet shows up. You had a word column and a definition column. Sometimes they ask you to provide the word that matched the definition. Sometimes they gave you the definition and you had to find the word. So make sure that you have the blank boxes filled in. I gave you the page numbers as we went along this week, and I'm just going to mark this column out. I'm just going to put a squiggly line through it. Okay, so once you double check your skill packet to make sure everything's complete, that's when you will turn it in, and I will take a look at all of that on Google Classroom. Okay, so hope you enjoyed this book. It's one of my favorites, and look in your Google Classroom for an assignment that has the AR number, and it will also have directions how to get on to Renaissance so you can take an AR test. Thanks a bunch.